Hey there everybody, welcome back. It's New. This is going to be an early access pre-launch video, a very highly informative one. Recently I've been, for the past week, compiling a bunch of information about PoE2's system changes from PoE1, especially if it's a major change. And if I was just your average PoE1 veteran not paying close attention, I would definitely be going into this game unwittingly with some suspicions about how it works, and it would just be way off, and it would definitely impact how my own performance, my own enjoyment of the game would be. I think this is what Jonathan was getting at somewhat recently when he said, to a certain extent, ARPG enthusiasts who are brand new to the PoE franchise are going to have an easier time with PoE2 than veterans of PoE1, at least in some ways. And I think he was getting at this. Case in point, a good example would be Ignite. So, critical strike damage multiplier is by default a dead stat for Ignite builds in PoE1 because the damage calculation takes place before the hit. However, in PoE2 it will now take place after the hit, so a brand new player who happened to roll an Ignite build, who's never played PoE1, would probably assume that critical damage as a stat would be extremely strong, and they'd be right. But a PoE1 veteran might unwittingly have a very unoptimized build because of that. So this is just one example, and this is why I think you should watch this video. There's a lot of things I'm going to be covering, and yeah, well, let's just get into it right here. So I have a script. I'm just going to read straight from it. Nice cut and dry. There's no strategy in here involved at all. So those of you who are trying to go in 100% blind, maybe don't want to listen to this, but if you just want to, go into the game, you want to be, you want to get the gunk out of your head and put the filter back in the brain and take in the new information so you at least have a decent understanding about how the game works. You don't want the preconceived notions that are going to get in the way of your experience. This is going to be a great video for you. So from the top, we're going to start with my favorite one. We're going to get that one out of the way. For PC players, WASD is a new character movement system. Mouse click to move movement is still an option. You will have to choose which movement system to use, which can be toggled in the game menu options. I believe there's no way to hotkey this in real time, at least as of yet. There are trade-offs to choosing either system over the other, and some class archetypes will be better suited for a particular system. There are a total of 6 classes, each with 2 ascendancy options available in the initial early access release. Ascendancy respecialization is currently not allowed, and this is a highly contentious topic in the community at this moment. There is a chance it will be allowed here in a few days when it launches, but presently not allowed. Presumably you will still be able to respec ascendancy points, however. Skills are more specialized, and their effectiveness can be greatly enhanced by combining one or more other skills that have synergies with them. Many skills that used to force standstill now allow you to move in strafe slowly while using them. Ascendancy notables, weapon types, and unique gear pieces can grant the character a unique new skill, which can be further enhanced with support gems. Mana is no longer used to reserve auras. Spirit is a new resource that reserves aura skills, some minion skills, and most meta skills. Spirit as a resource can be acquired on all classes by progressing through the campaign. Pure movement skills like Flame Dash has been removed. Every class now has a dodge roll, a cooldown less movement ability with no mana cost and with added avoidance that also cancels any ongoing skill animation prior to using it. The need for linking and coloring sockets has been removed, thus fusings and chromatic orbs have as well. Jeweler's orbs still exist, have different tiers to them, and deterministically increase the number of sockets available for use in a link. All characters have at least 9 6 links in the endgame. They can feature either skill gems, meta gems, or skills derived from a unique source. Multiple copies of the same skill and meta gem are allowed, but only 1 copy of particular support gems can be used across all links on the character. Specific skill, support, and meta gems are no longer drop in-game. Instead, uncut gems drop and can be cut into a gem of choice based on type and level of that gem. Transfigure gems have been removed. The weapon swap system has received a major upgrade, with automated swapping based on skill used and with an additional 10 specialized passive skill points to be allocated for both setups. Each skill used is designated to one weapon setup or the other with seamless integration between the two. Damaging ailments like Ignite and Poison now scale off the final calculation of the hit. Poison no longer stacks by default. Critical strikes no longer grant a 100% chance to inflict elemental ailments. Elemental ailments are now applied by simply hitting a certain damage threshold for their corresponding damage type over the course of a fight. There will be several ways to manipulate these thresholds outside of just damage. Freeze chance is no longer impacted by freeze duration. There is a new stat for this called freeze buildup. Spell suppression has been removed. Damage avoidance in the form of evasion or block no longer looks at spell versus attack and now works for both by default. Block has been changed to require you to face the direction of given attack or projectile where it comes from. Leech has been dramatically downscaled, but not much else is known about its overall viability for recovery. Stun mechanics are now divided between short and heavy stuns. Only certain skills can produce a heavy stun. Several brand new ailments like Immobilize, Daze, and Electrocution have been introduced. Skills can now also inflict stagger damage, with some being better than others at staggering bosses. Boss encounters have been balanced in part around the new stagger mechanic. Gear can now have sockets, which can have runes or soul cores socketed into them. Runes and soul cores function similar to benchcrafts and enchantments from PoE1. These consumables cannot be unsocketed once used. The complexity of crafting gear has been dramatically scaled down. Alteration orbs and scouring orbs removed. Chaos orbs now remove and add a random modifier. Exalted orbs are the same but much more common. Val orbs are improved with greater odds of a favorable outcome, including adding sockets. Essences now only upgrade an item with one new modifier type. Some former metacrafts have been transferred into omens. The following forms of crafting have been outright removed: influenced, fractured, beast crafting, veiled, delve, incursion, and bench crafts. Yes, even the bench is removed. All utility flasks have been removed. Only 2 flask slots now available, and they must be life and mana respectively. In return, 3 new slots for charms were created. Basic charms are similar to utility flask modifiers from PoE1. Item quantity on gear is completely removed. Rarity on gear now affects the tier of currency drops as well as rarity of items. Rare drops are also given their own tier ranking, with increasing likelihood to drop with better rolls as the tier increases. The rarity stat affects this as well. This makes rarity essentially function as increased quantity and rarity combined. Each player has a personalized atlas with infinite scope, expanding outward in all directions. With improved overall rewards, the further out you go. The 6 portal systems still exist, however, dying once inside a map results in losing the map and progress on that particular path. If absolutely necessary, the Atlas can be hard reset at any time. All Atlas mission-related NPC content has been removed. Alva has returned as an NPC for the currency exchange. Yes, this means the currency exchange is core in the game. There's a new vendor that can ID all your items in your inventory at once, and another vendor from which you can gamble items for gold. Vendors now have a buyback option. So that's everything I have on the list. That is no doubt everything that possibly exists, and for that reason, if I were you, I would now probably seek out a similar video from another content creator and then cross-reference it with this one. Maybe do that 3 or 4 times over if you're really diligent. I tried to do that already up front, but I suspect that not everything is 100% perfect, and for that reason, there are comments down below, so please let me know if there's any inaccurate information in here. I'd greatly appreciate it. I will absolutely make any corrections, addendums that I have to using the pinned post at the top of the comments. So if you're watching this video, please immediately scroll down to check any pinned comments that might have any corrections to the video. Definitely recommend revisiting this video hours before the launch, because whatever new updates will be totally consolidated there in that post. Really just wanted to inform you guys so you can go into the game kind of like with a fresh slate, like a brand new player, with no preconceived notions how systems work. That's all I know for now, but let me know if there's anything else. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.